Hello, guys, and welcome back to the channel. We're starting a brand new show today, and I'm here with my friends from Football Exponential. Today, I've got Franklin and Kingsley in the house. Franklin, what's up? What's going on?
How you doing? How you doing? Thank you guys. Thank you for joining us. We are glad to be partnering up on this collab. It's like when you get the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy just battling it out for a few
Nice one.
for a few days, but it's good to be here.
Yeah, and I've got Kingsley. Kingsley, what's up?
I'm good. I'm good. I had a splendid weekend, the perfect start
They
to the
didn't.
I
week,
know.
actually.
He didn't
Why,
ask. He didn't ask
why
you about
not?
your weekend. He didn't ask about your weekend. No,
Yeah, yeah.
frankly speaking, nobody cares about your weekend.
Nobody cares. Nobody.
So
I
so
disagree. I think I disagree. I think our amazing viewers would do. I mean, a couple of weeks I had people checking on me, and I couldn't really give them a good status. But today, I'm good. I'm amazing. I'm happy to be here. It's a new edition, and yeah, we're going to get everything cracking on the pitch side.
This is episode one of the Pitchside Panel podcast. We'll try to do this at least once every week. So today we've got a lot to talk about, in the world of football.
yeah.
From Salah's explosive interview after the game against Leeds to Arsenal's potential bottling of the league title
Yeah.
again, and to Chelsea's December crash, familiar sight.
Yeah.
And we round things up with things happening at the top of La Liga. So I I don't think there's a better place to start than arguably the biggest
The
story in
biggest.
football right now, which is Mo Salah. For me, I have my thoughts on this,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm interested in hearing what you guys have to say about this. Franklin, tell me, do you think Mo Salah is being treated fairly, or do you think he's being a petulant little child?
I like to say I stand with Salah. I think Salah has every right to feel disrespected, to feel the way he's feeling. I think he's been pushed out of that club. And I think certain members of that club and the fan base are trying to run a narrative around Salah right now. And again, Salah is well aware of it. And again, I think he's coming out, setting record straight, because again, Salah is the top player. And I expect you don't treat top players like this. You don't leave a top player on the bench for 3 games. No communication, just basically ignoring him. For me, I agree it's disrespectful. Do I like the way Salah has gone about it? You can argue yes or no, but I think again you have to do what you have to do. And when you feel disrespected, again you just have to come out and say your piece. I have no problem with what Salah said. A lot of people disagree, and they're right to disagree. But for me, I stand with Salah on this one.
Breaking it down, it's still on you, Franklin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Let me just go through what he said. Yeah,
He
he
said a
said
lot. He said
he said he's being thrown under the bus by the club.
exactly.
He said the relationship between him and the manager has broken down,
Yeah.
and he also said there's been some broken promises in the summer. And finally, he indicated that Brighton might be his last game for the club. Let me go to Kingsley first before I
Yeah.
say what I want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me not jump the gun.
Yeah.
Kingsley, please tell me what you think.
Well, for a club that claims that you never walk alone, letting arguably their biggest
So it's
player
a two
walk.
versus one here today. Okay.
No, for a club that says, "Oh, you never walk alone," letting their arguably the biggest player right now in the club and probably in their history walk
Mhm.
alone. Yes, walk
Yeah.
alone
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
a time like this is not showing solidarity. I feel the entire Liverpool team should be taking a hit, right? And it should start with the manager. I feel like right now the bird at Liverpool is protecting the manager at the expense of a player that they can make a scapegoat out of. I mean, to think about it, we're sticking to Mo Salah, but the issues arising from this is from the entire club. I mean, Alexander Isak hasn't fired. A certain Florian Wirtz hasn't lived up to the paycheck.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is a coach that one week will tell you I have not enough players to compete for many trophies, and then the next week, oh, I have too many star players, I have to drop one. Right? This is a player that single-handedly took them to the league title last season. So I have to put all the contexts in order for you to understand why I'm looking out for Mo Salah's interest, and I'm saying he hasn't been properly treated. Now, could he have communicated his frustration differently? Yes, but in as much as saying a lot, he was never disrespectful to the club. He single-handedly,
Mm,
yes,
You
I don't
don't think
consider.
that was being
eh,
disrespectful?
No, that's not
no,
that's not being disrespectful, and I'll tell you why. Like,
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Even just take an example with Hurricane, right? Even when Hurricane wasn't at his best,
yeah,
every single media house in England kept saying Kane is gonna come good. Kane has records. Kane has, Kane will overcome this. And if you
Kane
look at
was
it,
33 years old, though.
yeah,
no,
he wasn't 33 years old,
Let's
but
put
he
things in
did not.
context.
Yes, he wasn't 33 years old, but he did not just take Tottenham to a title last season.
yeah.
He didn't
Well,
do that either, right? So So Salah did all of this, and it's arguable between Liverpool and Man United who has more influence in the media, right? So for two clubs who have that much influence in the media, nobody is coming out saying give Mo a break. I mean,
Yeah,
it's okay to drop him a game or two, right, to add an additional few to make him do better, but to just put him on the side. Look at Vinicius, for example, with Alonso and being subbed off in an El Clasico, and we had a whole rendezvous around that, right? So, do you expect Mo Salah to be benched for 3 games, and we are in a free media space? You and I can come today and say our opinion, and you expect someone with that much interest should not come out and say, "I am being isolated. I am being made a scapegoat." He wasn't disrespectful. He was factual.
yeah.
He did not insult Liverpool. He was factual. And
No,
for me, this is a distraction. This is a distraction from the bigger play. This is a distraction that even without Mo Salah, they are not getting results. This is a
what's
distraction that even without Mo Salah, they could not navigate leads.
what's the bigger play? Because
The
because
bigger play.
because I have my own theories as to what's the bigger play here, but I think I'd like to hear yours.
Let's
Yeah,
hear it.
I think the bigger play is they either are shopping right now for a slot replacement, or they're being flat out stupid. They're being
Mm,
flat out stupid because they don't want to take responsibility to say we've handed out big contracts.
yeah,
Okay, we've handed out big contracts over the summer. We've spent a lot of money, and we're not getting the desired state results. Someone has to take a fall, and you're choosing to fall out with the person that you feel is most dispensable. That
yeah,
is what's going on.
and the most expensive player on your roster right now. Because again, the financials you can't put a player that earns £400,000 on a week on the bench for 3 match days and not have this issue. It's as simple as that. And I
It's
think
moments, it's moments like these that makes Raheem Sterling looks like a very clever man. Because
well,
if I'm
well,
Mo, I'm not going anywhere. I would wait on my 400k paycheck. I wouldn't move.
When you
If
can
you're
get
not,
more
if
at Saudi,
well, you can
well,
get
it depends. It
you can
depends
get
too,
way more
because
at Saudi.
you might be able to get more at Saudi, but you also have to remember Mo has a family. Mo has a family that has lived in England for XYZ time. Those decisions might not be entirely based off football,
yeah. Let's
and he
okay,
has the right to consider that too.
Okay. Okay, fine.
okay. Tema. Let's because I have a feeling you're on the other side of this.
Definitely. So I think Mo Salah is acting like a child here. He's being very selfish.
Okay.
He's only thinking about himself. And I think he has let his club and his teammates down badly. Uh, and I'll go further. In my opinion, I think he's done his Liverpool legacy some harm here.
Everybody does
There's
that these days. I'm sorry,
there is
Trent.
no
Go on. Everybody that falls out with Liverpool does some legacy dent. I
there is no
apologize, but
doubt
go on.
that Mo Salah has been a phenomenal player for Liverpool. No one can doubt that.
That
200,
Ted, Ted,
250 goals,
Ted all-time
third,
highs, Ted all-time
third,
highs goal scorer.
yeah,
Yeah.
only behind Ian Rush and Roger
Roger
Hunt.
Hunt. Yeah.
And without him, they don't win the league last season. I know that,
Okay.
but no one is bigger than the club.
Mm,
No, no one is bigger than the club.
some are.
Yet,
Some players are. No, I'm not saying
yet,
they're
not
not bigger than the
and
club.
not for a club like Liverpool. Not for a club like Liverpool. See, yeah, this guy, he's done a lot for the club. I agree,
A
but
lot.
it wasn't for free. You understand? And you can't say the club did not do not value this guy. No one can say this guy was put on a. They brought a throne to the pitch to put him on the throne to sign his contract for 400k last summer.
which he rightly deserves as the best,
Good, good.
as one of the best players
Okay,
in Premier
now,
League.
okay, now let me address his issues one by one. Yeah, he says he feels like he has earned the right to always play and he can't accept being on the bench. My guy, you have no automatic rights to play.
That's
You
true.
have no
That's true.
automatic right.
Yeah,
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 you have no automatic right to play based on what you've done in the past. That's not
that,
how football works.
that's true.
You understand?
That's
In
true.
football, the past fans are insatiable. We always want more.
What can you
You
do?
understand? So
What have you done for me lately? Kind of situation.
exactly, exactly. So last season he did the same thing. Yeah, they were going for the league, and he was making the whole thing about himself, coming out every match day talking about he doesn't believe the club haven't offered him a contract. He's shocked, making everything about himself.
No,
So
but sorry,
uh,
if I can
go
just
on.
sprinkle something on that, right? Yes, he came out last season to respond to conversations. He did not at any point come out and just started the topic. The
No,
club
no, no. He was the
allowed
one who
the
started it.
no
He
the
was the
club
one. He was.
allowed it. No, wait,
He was the one who
No, no,
started
no,
it.
no.
the club allowed a narrative that they have not been able to reach an agreement with Mo. That was the narrative that was out there. And he came and he set the record straight. How do I reach an agreement when it has not been presented? That was the narrative.
Bro,
And
Mo
then
is a
this
professional player,
and
bro.
then they started to say, oh,
He's a
he's
No,
demanding
no,
for
professional.
more, is
no, no,
whatever.
no,
No,
no, no.
no.
Okay, no, but I also feel with Mo Salah. Mo Salah is not. He's this. Even last is not the first time he's come out directly to the media. Even
Yeah,
the season before that, he had the falling out
Yes.
with Jurgen Klopp at the game at West Ham where he was on the bench. He had a bit of tension when he
exactly.
came on. After the game, he came out to speak to the media again, and I feel like he's always been that way. But again, I will always leave. I'll give a bit of grace to players like Mo Salah because at the top level, they've done it. And I give them that benefit of that. Like, you know what? They deserve it. Like, Salah has won two Premier. He's won everything coming at Liverpool Football Club. Before Salah walked into that club, they had no Premier League title in how many years? No
It was
Champions League.
2030.
No Champions League
Correct.
in how many years?
Yeah,
FA Cups, Carling
yeah.
Cups, all that. He's gone there. He's broken all kinds of records in the Premier League. He's not like Salah is not like any bottle. Salah is a special vintage when it comes
I
to
don't
player.
care.
Is no, no,
I
no.
really don't care. See,
But
no one is bigger than the club. And see, yeah, when you are playing well, you can play these games and the fans will be behind
that's
you.
true.
Like
That's true. Yeah,
last season, the fans were behind him. They were like, give him whatever he
give
wants.
him whatever. Yeah,
You
yeah.
understand? And I think he kind of put the club into a corner to give
Yeah.
him that contract. You understand?
And I have a feel.
So,
Well,
but
sorry.
now the team is down. They are not playing well. And also, I want to address what you guys just said about Mo Salah being thrown under the bus.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
seriously, where?
Okay,
How?
okay. See, I'll tell you how. See,
Van Dijk has had it more this season. And I tell you the truth, if Liverpool had a good replacement for Van Dijk, he would be on the bench right now.
and don't
True or
it
false?
true, true. Well,
So,
if you put Virgil
so
on the
why are we?
bench, if you put Virgil, the club captain, on the bench for 3 games,
Yes,
don't you think you end up in the same situation where you have this not
I
not
don't think so.
not as big as Salah, but probably the same situation where because again, is the club captain. Why is you just can't put the club captain on the bench? He's not playing well. But when you say okay, like if we talk about that performances, it's not something that is just related to Salah. Everybody at Liverpool Football Club, every outfit player at Liverpool Football Club right now is playing below that level.
And every
Isaac has
and
only one Premier League
everybody is
goal.
getting it as well. Everybody is getting it. Tell me
No,
one
no,
player
no.
that hasn't been criticized.
I
Tell
don't
me
think
one.
I don't
Vert,
think everybody's I
Vert is
don't
not
think
getting
everybody's getting it.
Vert is not getting
Vert,
anything
Vert hasn't contributed a goal, and I
in
don't even
14 games.
recall
In 14
an
games.
assist in the Premier
Bro,
League.
are we on the same internet? How can you say Wes is not getting
He's
it?
not
He's
getting
Vert,
it.
getting it.
Vert is not. You see,
Because have they even benched Vert for 3 weeks for 3 games straight? Has he gone to the bench for 3 games straight? And Liverpool has a packed midfield. Liverpool has a midfield that can be fluid.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
not there.
yeah.
The guy, and in my opinion, the guy who is not even properly treated is Ekitike because he should be the first name on every match day because he's
Exactly.
the only guy that still comes in and do a job.
Yeah, not Isaac. And like if okay, it's fine if Salah's not that performing, it's fine you put him on the bench. But I'm sorry, then Gakpo can't be starting games and you tell me because he's playing okay, but Salah is not playing well enough, he's on the bench and Gakpo is still there. I'm seeing what Gakpo is doing in real time. It's not good enough. So it's not a Salah situation. Everybody in the football team, Konate is doing what Konate is doing every day. Konate is
Sorry,
no, no,
I
it's
have to
funny.
laugh this out because Scolate is so bad that Real Madrid had to come up and say, "Hey, whatever it is we were talking
Yeah, yeah,
about,
yeah. They were just like,
we're no longer interested.
don't use us for your contract
We
negotiations,
are not,
please.
we
We are
are
not
not, we
interested.
are not involved.
We
We
already
don't want him.
we already have enough on
And
Asensio."
Konate and Van Dijk are still playing because they do not have able replacements for them.
Okay.
And also, yeah, you see this Salah issue. I don't know what you guys think about this. I think having two strikers like Ekitike and Isak in Liverpool, Salah does not really work in that formation.
I agree. I see 100% agree on that. But
You
again,
understand what I'm
yeah, I agree. You're right.
So,
You're right.
so this is not this is also tactical as well. I
But
think Liverpool are preparing for
for
a life post Mo Salah.
but that's the trend under
You
the boss
understand?
is talking about though. Like because again,
Yes, but
because
you come to the front door and have this conversation
But
like
he's
this
not. But
player.
he's not performing. Salah has been
we
dropping stinkers all
so
season. Like seriously,
So is
so
Isak.
you don't watch him
so
against Burnley.
So
so
is
is Isaac.
Isak.
If you see
So
if
is Isak.
in fact
So so Isak
Isaac can play 90 minutes.
see Isak can be excused to an
Ah,
extent.
come on
Why?
now.
This
Why?
Why?
guy, this guy didn't
Why?
have a
Go on.
preseason. He didn't have a preseason.
Okay.
We are in
After
He
December.
was
match day
injured,
14,
We're in
well, after
December.
match day 14, you didn't have a preseason. How many games do you need in preseason?
and
If you
and
if you take the whole season
he's been
off.
injured. He's been injured as well.
Yeah, you can be injured and you'll be involved in tactical discussions that happen in preseason.
I
It's not.
understand that, but I'm just saying Isak can be cut some slack. Yeah,
So
Salah has not been performing this season, and I don't think he should be complaining about being benched. See, yeah, and this boils down to what I'm saying again
okay.
about his selfishness. It's all about him. He's
Because
making this thing
yeah, I agree.
all
I
about
agree. Yeah.
Salah. Can,
Once upon a time, it was all about him to get them the title.
so
It was all about him to get
it's
them
Oh,
a
the
team
title.
sport. It's a
again.
team sport.
No, no,
It's a
no,
team sport.
no. Like you said, Liverpool brought out the throne. They gave him the Premier League title. He signed his contract. He got the Player of the Year, Football Writers Player of the Year.
400K a week.
See, Salah got all the awards last season. So as much as you say, okay, it's a team game, but you know what? He was the driving force in that title challenge last season. And I think unanimously the best player in the Premier League last season. So I can understand, okay, you know what, he's not playing well right now. But I'll give that player that show me what he can do for this football club in this league more grace than the guy that's coming for a record breaking transfer and has not performed. Salah has been consistent for Liverpool since the first minute he stepped on that white on the pitch with Liverpool Football Club.
Agreed. Agreed.
So I mean,
Even at the start of the season when they were nicking points towards the end of the game,
he was there.
somehow
He was
he
still
was
there.
involved in those
Oh,
goals.
come on.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Somehow. Yes.
He
Come
was
on.
Go and
he
check
was
the first 5 games when they were
the first
Come
few
on.
games.
literally
Come on.
always winning 3-2 or
The, win-
something like that. He
the winner
was
Burnley,
there in those games.
the
But the
winner
problem is
Burnley,
this.
all those goals.
Yes, the problem is this. The handwriting has been on the wall since the first whistle of the season in Liverpool, and they ignored that for a long time. Like, it's not excusable that the board is not taking enough responsibility. You had signed in Ekitike, and you continued on the transfer wall to make sure you get yourself Isak. You did
Yeah.
not consider squad planning at the time, no?
Yeah.
And
Uh,
what happened to playing some of your best players back into form? I mean, it's laughable when you look at Rodrigo, who hasn't scored in 32 games and still gets minutes. And then you look at Isak, who just started having a stinker in a couple of weeks, and you freeze him out. We've seen it time over time. You play some of your best players back into form.
okay.
Mo
Yeah,
Salah is that
I
guy
agree.
that he's on the pitch, you get a penalty, he scores, all this pressure is off his back, and you get going again. So
If
that is the part
if
why
this
I
was
feel
if this
he's
was
thrown
28,
under the bus.
29-year-old Mo Salah we're talking about, I would understand you guys. I wouldn't even be arguing this. This is a 33-year-old. See, you know what? I think Liverpool made a mistake last season renewing his contract.
And that's what
That's
he's and that's what
yeah.
and that's what he's talking
So
about. That's where
yeah.
That's where it's coming. That's how they want to rectify the mistake, and that is where they're
basically
going a bit disrespectful with him.
because
You can phase him out gradually. That's my point. I'm not
uh,
saying they should continue to plan to build with Mo Salah for the future, but you can phase him out gradually. You can start playing him in, maybe instead of 3 games, you play him in two. Some he comes off the bench, but you don't single him out and freeze him out like he's the issue. He's not the only problem in the
Yeah.
club at the moment. And that is the
And I
narrative I think is being pushed in
no
all of
no I
Liverpool's
disagree.
media.
No, I disagree with that. I don't even think Salah has really been singled out because so the only person I see really talking about Salah is Carragher, and the only thing he was even saying was he wants Salah to come out and address the fans after games. It
Well,
shouldn't only be. It
well,
shouldn't
well,
only be
Well, he
like,
just did.
well, he just did. So
He just did.
no, not like
He
this.
just
Come out,
ah,
reassure the fans that we're doing everything to turn things around. It shouldn't only be Van Dijk, and that was the only thing Carragher said, and that's not
no,
throwing anyone.
that's not the only thing Carragher has said.
What else did he say?
If you
but
followed
yes,
Carragher
if you follow the
over
timeline,
the years,
it's not.
anytime there is
He
a
said
little bit
Salah is
of,
selfish. He said Salah is selfish, and I agree.
see,
That's not throwing him under the
I
bus.
have listened to Carragher a bit too much at some point, and I'm like, this guy, your actual talent is what you're ripping off right now because you had no business playing football. You had no business playing football. You are a
No, no,
better
no, no.
you're a better
Let's
pundit than
That's too harsh.
because
let's
yeah,
take no, no,
well,
That's
no,
too
no,
harsh.
no. It was okay. It
you
was okay.
cannot put you cannot put Carragher in a conversation as Mo Salah in terms of footballing
No, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
heritage. And for the much level of disrespect that Carragher has put on Mo Salah's name, if they don't share the same club loyalty, they you shouldn't be talking to
No, no,
him.
no, no. This is unfair. Let me tell you why I say you are being unfair. I don't think there's anyone who sang Mo Salah's praises in the media like Carragher.
Carragher-
Let's not.
No,
Yes, yes.
no,
no, we're
like
When
listening to
see,
different.
see, see,
Except it's not Jamie.
Carragher
it's not.
always. I
Except it's not
remember.
Jamie.
I remember one time.
There must be two
Not this
Jamies.
last.
There must be
Not
two
this last.
Carraggers.
Yeah, it's not
Not
Jamie.
this last contract issue, but there was a time Carragher was on like give him whatever he wants. This guy is Mr. Liverpool, give him whatever he wants. He's praised Mo Salah every time. But when it's time to criticize him, he does his job. Last time he criticized Mo Salah was because he was being selfish. These guys were going for the league last season. You do not bring your personal contract issues to the forefront. That was all Carragher was saying. And I agree.
No, but it matters though. No, because okay, because again, look at it from a player's point of view now. Like you're okay, we're in the middle of winning a league. I'm playing the best football I've played in a long time. My contract literally expires in a
My
few months.
literally my future is uncertain.
That
Literally,
is see that is his future. Like because
that's
again,
literally
because
what you're saying.
because you can say what you know, what you don't know. But end of the day, you say in a different world, if Salah gets injured for like a long term injury during that season, what does his future look like? Do you think Liverpool give him
It's
a
done.
contract
Bro,
when he's
Salah is
injured?
Salah.
No, but
Salah is Salah.
I
He
know,
will still
but,
get a contract regardless.
but he doesn't know
No,
that. But he doesn't.
PFA Player of the Year.
But he doesn't know. See, but he doesn't know that. So
no,
see,
no,
until you
because
have it in front of you, you don't know that. You can't say for a fact. So
no.
you always fight for what you can get. But see, but again,
Clearly, Salah is not Salah because if Salah is Salah, if the club think of Salah as Salah, we wouldn't be having this conversation. They would have had a chat with him and say, "This is what is going on. Let us, we're going to try and figure things out." There are players that, I mean, nobody's bigger than the club, but there's some players that deserves some
yeah,
heads up. And Salah deserves it. He's in that bracket. I'm not saying that he cannot be benched. I'm not saying that they cannot have a strategic turnaround within the club. But the club owe him that conversation.
yeah.
And the big phrase there is that I have not had any interaction. I had a great relationship with the manager, and now I don't even know what is going on. How I'm sitting on the bench for 3 straight games. That's the problem right there. And that is where I'm coming for the coach. You
As,
need to have these
as
conversations.
a senior player, Salah should sit on the bench and show the manager, listen, you need me in this team. You need me in this team.
By
Not
sitting on the
throwing,
bench,
not throwing his toys out the pram like a child. That's
You-
not how
You're not wrong.
he's a senior
You're not wrong
he's
with
a
that. You're not
senior
wrong.
player. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Let's just segue into this. Yeah. I want to ask you guys now, what do you think happens next? So from the club's perspective, from Slot's perspective, and from Mo's perspective. So I'll start with the club. What do you think the club should do now to rectify the situation? For me, I think they should get rid.
I think the club are getting what they want out of this situation because I feel they want to move Salah. And again, I think the moment Salah signed that contract last season, his Liverpool days were numbered. I feel right now what they're trying to do is, or what they want to do is, they want to bring that date forward, as in this January transfer window.
and get
You
something from it.
just get it done, move on. Then you can focus because you can understand like Liverpool's future is not Salah. It's Isaac,
Definitely.
Vets, and Ekitike. They want that right now, and with the manager being under so much pressure right now, I think it's like, even tactically, like how do you fit all these guys into this team? Salah is the odd guy out, and I
He
f-
is. He's the up
and
guy in
I,
that formation.
and
Yeah.
and I feel that's why I understand where he's coming from, where he feels disrespected because it's not just a footballing situation. It's about how much he's earning, about how can we get him out and move on quickly as possible. And again, when he does, it makes it's a bit ironic because it then makes it easier for them even with the fans because a lot of Liverpool fans are like, you know what, he's not begun at the club. Salah can go off, you go, it's fine. And I feel it's unfortunate. I hope it doesn't end this way because I think he deserves a proper ending to his Liverpool career. But I don't think he plays for Liverpool again.
I've been listening to some Liverpool fans online, and they're all saying exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
Like he should leave
yeah,
because the club is always they love Liverpool more than they love Mo Salah
yeah.
at the
So
end of the day. Kingsley, what do you think the club should do?
Um, I think the club should have a talking with Mo Salah. I still feel Mo Salah is that special to put them back on track for this season. Now you can have a conversation post World Cup and look for a deal that works for everybody.
I
I
don't think
feel
he, I don't
right.
think he comes
I
back.
feel because if you think
I
of
don't think he comes back from Nations Cup,
No,
bro.
no.
no, so because if you think of the right wing position in Liverpool
Semenyo is
of
coming.
I
of
was
the
going to
forward
bring
line.
that up as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
He's,
but
yeah.
even with Sameyo coming, Sameyo is more effective in Bournemouth from the left wing, not the
but
right, not
if
the right. And this is another situation of putting a hole in a peg, right? That is another situation because
no,
you bring him and then he now. I mean, you see Sameyo competing with Gapco and a couple of others on that same position while the other part is light. If you check off the forward line these days, a special right winger is not that plenty. Let's be honest, they're not that much. The good ones are already in big clubs.
Yeah, we have a
yeah,
silver.
yeah,
Yes,
exactly,
the good
exactly.
ones are already big clubs. So you don't because it's the same issue. It's the same issues Real Madrid have. They're putting all manner of right footers to play the right wing position. It's not natural for them. And then there are clubs who have a full-flown SS. For example, Chelsea has Copama, has Estaval. They're enjoying that. But
Quenda
Liverpool,
incoming.
Conda's coming,
uh,
yeah, Conda's coming.
yeah, and Liverpool don't have that. So, and
Gana,
if you go around shopping for right wingers, you don't have a lot. So why don't you give yourself to the end of summer, see if somebody's going to make a difference in the World Cup and reinforce properly for that position.
yeah, but
So if they want to kind of salvage something out of the season, at least with Mo Salah, with that mentality that he brings, with that superiority, with that understanding of how to navigate difficult situations. You need that experience because again, all these other guys that they've put their money on, that they've bet, they don't have that footballing credibility yet. Liverpool's first trophy, Newcastle's first trophy with Isak was a cup. Florian Wirtz, yes, he did something with
Invincible.
yeah, an invisible domestic title.
domestic title. That's about it. And you want to compare that with somebody that's been in multiple Champions League finals, for someone that has taken them to win the Premier League, for someone that has won literally almost everything. He knows that he knows how to win, and you literally have to gradually phase in those new players to start understanding this winning mentality. Because if Mo Salah leaves, what you have left of you is Van Dijk, and maybe I've never seen a
I
keeper
think
that's
his I
more
think his days
injured.
are numbered as well, Van Dijk.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
So you have
okay.
to be gradual with this. So sticking to the topic, I would say Liverpool have a discussion with your senior man. Talk to him, see if there is anything that could be made out of this bridge. If not, if I'm Musala, you have to pay. You won't get a lot of money back from me. You
Oh,
wouldn't. I wouldn't go to a club that I don't want to go to just because of you guys. I have to find the right deal for me. And if it's not coming in January, I'll wait it out until whenever it comes.
I don't think Salah is that kind of player. I don't think Salah is one to just sit and just
yeah,
collect
like
the money.
like you said, I think I think he knows he can still contribute. I think can still
Yeah.
contribute to any top team in
And
European football.
that is why he has reacted like this
Uh,
because he knows he can still control. Well, I think the club should get rid, but respectfully, I think because he deserves some respect, despite
Except
his
they are calling their friends in Real Madrid.
No,
yeah, they
no,
should.
no, no, Real Madrid. I
That's
think Saudi,
they can
like
call.
this Saudi,
They
Saudi
call.
the
is the
They
Saudi.
only
can.
option for me.
To,
He's
but
Egyptian.
but
He will do
it's
well.
not but if he still wants to have a big impact on his career, if he still wants to do meaningful things, I mean, no disrespect to the Saudi league, but if he still wants to do meaningful things at European stage, and yeah, I think Real Madrid is the ideal club that
It's
can
Well,
pay you
not.
something.
well,
It's
well.
not.
Arguably, one of the best footballers in the world is in the Saudi league. So, what are we saying?
One
Joao,
of the best,
Joao,
One of the
Joao
all-time
Felix.
great.
ah,
Who are we talking about here?
One
yeah.
Portuguese player.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So on to Slot now. Yeah, what do you think? Because I think Slot would feel disrespected by this, definitely.
And he should. He
What,
should.
yeah, what do you? I just saw a notification now from Fabrizio saying he's been dropped for the Inter game.
Yeah.
So I don't think he'll be traveling to Italy. So I think we already have an idea of what Klopp is thinking.
Yeah.
But how do you think Klopp should handle this situation?
Slot,
Slot.
you mean?
Slot.
Slot, sorry.
I think it's not. It's. I think first of all, I don't think it's just a slot decision. I think it's a club decision. And when you have the sporting directors, they have the Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes, or Richard Hughes. Those guys. I think those guys will lead the decision making. And I think Slot will just basically. Because again, let's not forget, Slot is not in the best of situations right now. Like his jump.
Yeah.
His jump.
The fact the fact is Slot could be gone before Musala returns from
Nations.
half.
Exactly.
and,
So and
He could be gone. Yeah.
and
so
even more interesting, Alonso could be there.
If exactly,
Very yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's not possible. It's not
yeah.
possible. And again, like you could just be like you could be like Salah. Also, you know what? I'll bond this bridge right now. I'll wait. I know Slot probably leaves soon, and another man. If
Yeah.
because I believe if another manager comes into Liverpool right now, Salah starts the first match day easily.
But let's look at this like this. If another manager comes in now, would that manager trust Salah due to his behavior now? Will he say this is a guy I want to work with
You
after after disrespecting his predecessor?
I think you have that conversation, and again, like from like again, we know this used to be Chelsea's heritage where you sack a manager, a new manager comes in, and the players just take off. I think Salah would then take it as like again, his ego is currently bruised. Like you take like I have a point to prove. Forget my relationship with this current manager. I need to show the old manager, the fans that have doubted me, Carragher and co. I need to still keep performing because again, I think Salah has been written off right now. But I also think I don't think that's the like I think the likely situation is he probably leaves in this January transfer window. But again, a lot of things can happen. Like you said, like Snow could be out of a job this time next week. They don't get the
Yeah.
right results against the next two games. So it's I think it's as simple as that.
You know, the funny thing is interesting when you say Slot has been disrespected. I think what Slot has gotten is respect is reciprocal. Because
Yeah,
yes, because
yeah, I agree.
if Slot had respected Salah, you have a chat with him. You know, and that's one thing when people say everything they want to say about Pep, he might not be the best man-to-man manager, but Pep will be bold enough at some point to tell you, I don't
Yeah,
trust you
my man.
to go
Yeah.
forward.
Don't
But
don't ask Arturo that.
Eh,
Arturo will
but
say totally different.
Zlatan does not agree with this your
Yeah, so
assertion.
but again,
And
you're calling to
Samuel Eto'o.
Yeah.
yes, again, it could be lessons that he has learned from the early days of management because right now he does it. Like look at the phasing out of De Bruyne. We're not getting all of this. Look at the phasing out of
No?
Aguero. Look at, like you would see that over time he had learned to do
Sterling.
better with these big names, right? Sterling, none of them again, arguably, is at Mo Salah's level at this point, right? It's arguable,
Yeah, exactly.
but you need, in my opinion, you need to respect this guy. You need to talk to him, and it's a different thing if you've had the conversation and he's throwing tantrums. Now we're having a different discussion. So I don't think, in the first place, if relationships are changing, I don't think you've done the rightful thing to walk through the door and say things are changing, and then I figure it out myself that things have changed, and you teach me or you tell me how to react. That is a different conversation here. So
Yeah.
that is where That's where, and trust me, even with the respect conversation, I think Slot has probably lost respect with 10 out of 11 of those players that he starts.
Well,
Do we think Mo Salah is
He's losing the dressing room with or without Musala Saga. He is
do we
losing the
think
dressing
Mo
room.
Salah is looking at slots and saying everything you have, you owe it to me?
I gave you
yeah,
literally
yeah,
yes,
yeah. You
because
can. Yeah,
Liverpool
it's
didn't win
good.
a lot from tactical brilliance last season. They didn't win a lot from tactical brilliance last season.
No, well,
It's a combination of things. A lot of the bigger names in the Premier League last season were on slacker pies
I won't say
last
that.
season.
No, 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 no.
Yes, because
No, no,
if you check
you
after
can't really
Jan,
say that. You
if you
can't.
check after January, Liverpool were in fantastic, and that was when Musala's form dipped a little bit.
But we all know that competition brings out the best in you.
Yeah,
If there was a team pushing Liverpool, they would have raised their levels as well.
exactly.
Because
Yeah,
because,
Or they might have crumbled like
everyone
Arsenal.
was falling
It
on.
depends. It actually depends on what side you look at it.
Man, forget
Competition
Arsenal.
could drive you.
Arsenal are not
Competition
in
could
this
break you.
conversation.
Yeah,
Arsenal are
that's
not
it.
even in this level of reason. They are not.
we're talking about
Liverpool,
winning, so it's
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah. We're talking about winners.
Yeah,
This same team, Klopp could not do anything with them the previous season. He couldn't do anything with them. And then Slot came in with that same team and won the league. You understand? He
yeah,
played very well.
yeah.
I think they dropped off later because there was no competition really.
That's true.
That's
That's true.
that's my
That's true.
so it's not entirely a Mo Salah thing. I think Slot deserves some credit as well for last season.
Okay.
No, by all means, and he got his fair share of the credit. But I'm saying if Mo Salah didn't come through to give them that advantage, we would have been seeing a different Slot. Because right now there's a lot of competition. Why are they not doing better? Why are they not doing better?
It's a different team, bro. It's a
Yeah,
different
I know.
team.
No, no, no.
They've lost
No,
they've
no,
lost
It's
players,
a
they've lost
different team with
Jota,
arguably
they've
better
lost
individual
Trent.
players that they bought.
No, not better. Definitely
With
not.
arguably
So
better, right?
are we saying Frimpong is better than Trent?
no, not just free We're talking about like we talk about the big
I want to take
hitters.
them one by one. I want to take them one by one. Are we saying Frimpong is better than Trent?
Obviously,
Hell no.
obviously not. Obviously not.
Hell no. Are we saying
Well, let's hold
Diaz?
off. Let's hold off before we say hell no. You have to be playing to show that you're better. You
Free
have to be fit. You have to
Well,
be fit
Yeah,
to show that you're better. So
they are
neither of them
bantering.
are playing.
no,
They are bantering now.
Frimpong is Frimpong and Ben played. I think Trent's record with Madrid. Whenever he plays, they don't lose.
Are we saying Kekes is better than Robertson?
Last season, yeah, he was in the Premier League. He was in Premier League team of the season. Yeah.
Yes,
No, no.
because nobody. Yes, because nobody expected anything
And
from Bournemouth, and they overperformed. And yes, but he's not a better player than
no,
Robertson. He's not,
I know. Again, I understand. It's not.
and he's showing.
It's
He's
not.
showing now.
No, he's not a better player than Robertson, but again, Robertson is also in that same conversation with Van Dijk, Salah, where
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
probably at the
They're
end.
aging now.
So again,
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
think like if you look at, I feel I don't think there's anybody in world football that looked at Liverpool's business and said, you know what, this is not good business. They got the best, they got one of the best players in the Bundesliga. They got the German Player of the Year last season, Florian Wirtz. They
Yeah.
brought Isaac, one of they finished second in the top goal scoring chart in the Premier League. A guy that's gone back to back.
On paper, it was a wonderful,
Yeah,
wonderful
like again, I think they improved everywhere.
transfer.
They have a fit Subosaic now.
Yeah, but I just think with Liverpool, where I think probably where they made like getting all these guys in, they neglected the balance of the team, and I think that's where they suffer the most. That team doesn't
Yeah.
look well balanced. The profiles don't fit together.
And Mo Salah does not work in this team. He
Hey,
doesn't.
which again is true because
Tactically, he
no,
doesn't.
it doesn't. Because I think like Salah's time at Liverpool, Liverpool have not had a world class striker.
Yeah.
Salah
He
was
has been the focal point.
so
You
it's
understand?
so now I just feel like it just is the natural progression, and they just want to bring forward that timeline, make it happen quicker, make it happen now rather than later, and the club and the players they move on. Isaac and you hope Isaac starts showing a bit of quality, and you don't have to worry about missing Salah
Salah,
anymore.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just
They
and
have to step. I
That's
think
the
this
big
should
shoe to fill.
yeah
Salah's shoe is too big to fill,
this
even
should
for
be
no,
some
Liverpool.
motivation. This should be some motivation to the players as well. Like, come on,
yeah.
there's a
Well,
space to
but
build.
okay, but then the question now is how many of those players in that Liverpool team, how many of them do you think feel the way Salah feels right now? Because I feel there probably is at least two or three who probably have on they understand Salah's grievances with the club right now. I
I
think
don't think anyone. I don't think anyone has a right to be though. They are not performing.
no,
So
but it's
how
Xabi
do you
should,
start feeling,
and
how do you start feeling a certain type of way
but it
when you are not
shows.
doing
No,
the job?
no,
You're not doing
it's
the
I
job.
agree, but the way they play, it shows there's something lacking behind the scenes at that club. Is it the relationship between the players themselves, or the relationship with the coach? But there's no harmony in that team, and it shows. It shows when they play. Like you see, Van Dijk is under pressure. I know Konate is going through what Konate is going through, but again, I don't think it's just like the way Slot talked about Konate this past week. I don't think that helps Konate. When he says Konate is always at the crime of every sin. Like it's always at the scene of every crime.
Yeah, yeah,
That
It
guy
don't,
doesn't know how to speak. He
no,
doesn't know how to
it's
speak
no, but it's true. But it doesn't help.
to players of the caliber that he has. He doesn't know how to speak to them.
And again, I think with club politics sometimes is like the power a manager has in a club, especially at a big club, you can lose that power quite quickly when players start going
yeah,
against you.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
we've seen it with Chelsea, like it just takes one or two. They drag everybody. Okay, if Salah's on one side, say Virgil joins in, Robertson is there, Konate is there, and Alisson goes in on the other side, you're gone. Like it's just you're gone. So the tip for them, they have to just nip this in the bud as quickly as possible. If Van Dijk is also a bit not sure, you move Van Dijk on quickly too. Like you just the club. I said the club
yeah,
has to always come first. That's I
yeah.
don't doubt the club
I think
always
I think
comes
Van
first.
Dijk will be moved on as well. So for me, I think Slot is doing exactly what I would want him to do. Just take him out of the
Yeah,
team.
but
Yeah, take him out of the
but
team.
he has to win.
So
And
yeah, yeah, yeah. He has to win.
against the finalist of last season.
He
I'd love to
has
see that in
Out of the
CCL.
team.
he has to start
Take him
winning.
out of the team. Thank God the AFCON there is a necessary distraction for them right now. Let him go and then things will unravel themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully he's still in the job when Salah returns. So but for Salah, what do you think he himself would think would be the best thing for him? I think
The manager
Saudi.
sacked. Well,
I think
the,
I think Saudi.
the manager
I think
sacked.
Saudi should be the best. I don't think they'll sack
No,
him just because of Salah.
for
They
Salah.
might sack him because of the performances, but not
Yes,
because.
but either
Yeah.
ways, if he's gone,
So
Salah is smiling.
if they go and win against Inter, and who are they playing in the
Brighton.
league?
They have Brighton at home
Brighton, yeah,
next
and they
weekend.
win against Brighton. Like, come
It
on,
changed the
it
narrative. The
changes
narrative
everything.
changes.
You understand?
Yeah.
So for me, I think Salah should be thinking of the Saudi league right now. That's all. That's what I think.
Oh yeah. Well, I think when Salah woke up this morning, I think he looked at his phone, waiting for that Fabrizio, but Massimo Fabrizio said, Arne Slot has been sacked. He didn't get it. He'll wait. I think between now and January, he'll wait his time and see.
Yeah, there'll
If
be
results don't
news.
change, because
Yeah,
what happens first, if they sack Slot first, I can then come and change my mind. I can come out and apologize to the club and not the
true,
manager.
true, true.
Then we keep the show going. But if the club backs the manager, then Salah has to find his pasture somewhere else.
Yeah, so there's one final thing I wanted to ask you guys on this issue
Yeah,
about this Liverpool's form. I was watching Bakary Sania on CNN the other day, and he was speaking
my
about
guy.
the Jota effect. Do we think it is playing a part in Liverpool's season, the loss of Jota?
Yes, for me, it's a flat out yes,
Wow.
because because there are players. See, there are players
Francis, you
who
don't agree?
I disagree. I disagree.
see,
I'm sorry.
there are players who don't hog the limelight. There are players who might not be as good on individual qualities like the rest of some of the other bigger
Yeah,
names in
but
the
on a
squad.
personal
But
level,
on a personal level, when they get on the pitch, they come and they rescue. And if you check, most teams that have gone on to do something good, they have those element of players. Some of them eventually grow up and become bigger players over
Yeah.
time, right? But at the time when that season is brewing, you need those kind of players. Like you need those kind of players to make it work. An example, even if we go to when Madrid was blowing everybody away, they had that player, right?
Is-
They had a Joselo for their Champions League edition. He would come in, you're not having a like he will come in and he will do a job, right? They like most clubs usually have
Liverpool
those players.
They had Bobby Firmino as well.
Yes, so but they had Bobby Firmino, who you understand is not as big as the other ones. But even Bobby Firmino's case is a bit different. I would rather put that on Origi because they had Origi that he is not a guaranteed
So
starter. You give him a minute, he comes and it gets the job done.
So,
Even with Barca last
But
season, we
what
had the
but what
Ferran
Sagna
Torres.
is saying though, what Sagna is
Just have
saying though,
those.
it's not really about the football.
so like
He's talking about
the
how
emotional, the mental side.
the mental side of it,
Yeah.
how it affects these players, and how it's playing out into their performances this season. I think he's correct. I think because
Oh,
these
no,
guys spend
no.
these guys spend time with each other more than anyone else, more than their families. They are
Yeah,
always
yeah,
together.
yeah. I agree.
So
I agree. It's
that space will always be there mentally, psychologically. I think it's not something you can just carry on. I can understand that it could also be motivation. It could also be Jota is gone. Let's
exactly.
do this. Let's
Let's
do this.
exactly. Let's
But it's easier said than done.
first of all rest in peace to Jota. God bless his soul.
Yeah.
But I think with Liverpool, let's talk about football for a bit. They started the season 5 wins out of 5.
Yeah.
If you look back to the form this calendar year, it's not been the best. Like the goals considered, the losses that is quite high. It's not just this season. If you look back, it started all the way back at last season. So I don't think it's just one thing that's affected it. Of course, emotionally, just not just the players, but even the fans. Like it's a tragedy, and sometimes with tragedy, you can't really put in numbers, or you can't really tell how it impacts the club, the players. Again, like it is what it is. But again, I still what I've seen for Liverpool on the pitch is not about any tragedy. It's just a team not playing well. And you can say, okay, at what point did that start? And has it snowballed into what it has become now? Maybe they feel there's a little bit of an emotional hangover from the whole situation. But I just feel Liverpool, first of all, they're not running as hard as they should be. Like you look at how Liverpool play and how Arsenal play. You look at how committed Arsenal players are, how much they run compared to what Liverpool are doing. It's night and day. So
Anyway, that's
it's
that
it,
that's a
it
perfect segue into the next thing.
title favorites, yeah.
Yeah. Next thing we're going to talk about Arsenal, the champions elect, the November league winners, and it's happening again.
Back to back November league winners.
It's happen. It's happening again. They are bottling the title again right before our eyes. Does anyone here still think Arsenal has a chance to win this title?
Just look at the smile on the both of you's faces.
No,
I
no.
think
See,
for a
no,
moment, no, I think we need an appreciation post for this. Take a moment and look at the smile on Frank. Look at the smile on Tema's face. Tema, look at the smile on Frank.
Yeah.
You
It's
just look at how
lovely.
you guys
It's
are
lovely.
blushing
we are
like
haters.
teenagers who have been handed cake.
We are
Yeah.
haters. See
It's lovely
that
to
hate
see.
watch on on Saturday. I know Chelsea didn't have the best weekend, but I was happy.
I couldn't even care about
I didn't
Chelsea's
care.
result.
Chelsea drew.
I couldn't. I swear to God.
That's Mariska's
I know.
problem.
I know in the group. I know in the group. They were saying, "Oh, we are just masking our feelings." I swear to God, I did not care one bit. If Chelsea had lost that game, I wouldn't have cared.
For the first time in a long time, I was cheering Man City goals because I was watching Chelsea and City game at the same time. And City were doing the business. I was so happy.
And
I couldn't care what
and the
Chelsea were
way
doing.
Arsenal lost was so
So
sweet.
delicious. Ah,
So that last minute strike,
that
last second,
last
not even
last
minute,
second dagger.
last second strike. I didn't watch the game. I
Oh,
was on my phone throughout. Immediately I saw that notification, I was like, "Wow,
ah. See,
man!"
Well,
see,
for me, I wasn't as surprised because while we run the Football Exponential show, I'd said it from the beginning and I said it again. I said I understand the sentiment that makes people feel Arsenal are going to win the Premier League, but I said I'm banking on Pep's record. Pep would not lose the league back to back. It's not in his character,
yeah,
and in as much as this is looking like a different Pep's City side, even though it's not looking like the ever organized Pep side.
yeah,
Pep doesn't need to be at his absolute best to win the Premier
Beat
League
Arteta.
this year, just based off how other contenders haven't shown up. He doesn't need to be at his absolute. He doesn't need
yeah.
those 90 plus seasons to win the Premier League this year, and I think he will have just about enough to do it. And my problem with Arsenal players have always been the same. It has been the same through generational past, which is the winning mentality, the consistency. Like it's not a coincidence that you don't have your two center back pairing and you start to leak in goals like Raya is not good enough. You
But
start to leak
that's
in goals like the other wing backs don't matter, because this recent drop of form really started when Gabriel and Saliba cannot play together,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
and things didn't get better with the injury to the signing from that Valencia centre back. I forget him. From Mosquera.
Mascara.
Yes. So
Mosquito.
adding that injury and expecting Nkapi to show up so quickly is just too much to ask. And it brings me back to the problem I've had with this particular Arsenal side. Just a week ago, I had a conversation with my friend Frank, and I had Chika on the call, and I said this Arsenal team are not scoring enough, and as a result of that,
I agree. I agree
I
on
am
that.
I feel like it doesn't have the recipe for a championship winning side. And Frank said, "Oh no, this Arsenal team don't need to be fantastic. They just need to do. They need to be solid enough to get over the line."
They need
And
to be flawless to win the league.
I said, I
No,
said, I said,
this
I said,
season.
I don't agree with you, because I need. I say, fine, you don't have to blow away teams all the time with a 4-0, 5-0,
Yeah.
4-1 kind of performances, but even the games they've won. Even the games they've won,
But I can say that for City though.
they haven't impressed me. No, City are scoring goals.
No, and
City are just
they're
conceding
conceding.
quite a lot, but they're scoring goals. And over the course of 38 games, right? You will win more points by scoring more goals.
No, no, no. I think it's other. I think
Uh,
you win. I think you win more points by conceding fewer goals.
if the game ends 0-0, you get
Yeah,
1 point,
yeah.
right? If the game ends 0-0, you get 1 point. But if you are guaranteed to score a goal, there's a chance that if you don't concede, you win more points.
That's the Barca man talking. That's the
Exactly.
Barca man.
That's the Barca myself.
Yes.
No,
So
Yeah.
for me, all day of the week, every day of the week, I rather get a 5-4 victory than have a
But
0-1.
one,
Yes, I
yeah.
rather take that every day of the week.
I agree with that though, and I said this about Arsenal as well because they had a very very good defense, and I say yes. In England, we say defense wins
Yeah.
titles, but you still have to have your strikers firing, and
Yeah.
that was the issue.
Attacking players, in fact, not just strikers.
Yeah. That's the issue they had this season. Most of their goals were corner kicks. Maybe Gabriel winning the first ball, and then someone else.
Timber, Gabriel,
Yeah.
Timber,
So we didn't
Moreno.
have Salah. We didn't have Saka firing. We didn't have Victor Jokeres
Gurkers,
firing. I think the only one who could really hold his head high is Trossard,
Yeah, it's been brilliant.
yes.
and his numbers are not even that great
Yeah.
to talk about
I also feel
winning,
like
winning the
also feel
title.
like people should be talking about Easy too. Easy
Mm,
hasn't done enough for that
Exactly.
movement.
yeah, we can. Yeah, I
He's
He
been
agree.
hasn't
And
done
poor.
enough for that movement.
He's been very poor as well.
Besides
Got
the
a hat
Tottenham
trick
game,
against. Yeah,
that's it.
yeah,
And the game against Crystal Palace, he has not done
yeah.
enough in the league this season.
He
He has
was.
not done enough to be part of a championship winning side.
Yeah.
And the list goes on. It goes on. Yeah, Gabriel Martinelli is coming and rescuing points for you.
the only thing they had going for them was the defense, and it's no surprise that when the defense gets taken apart, they crumble. That's just it.
Okay, far be it for me to defend Arsenal, but at the same time, I also feel like I feel some of what you guys have said is true. I think when it comes to a Premier League title or a Premier or a champion, you need at least one of your attackers in conversations for one of the big awards, like
Yeah,
Player of
yeah.
the Year, like the Haaland, Salah, Hazard, those kind of
These
guys.
guys are talking about Rice winning Ballon d'Or.
Nah, that's disgraceful to my sport. That'll be disgraceful. See,
Arsenal fans, man. Oh,
that's worse than Rafinha for the Ballon d'Or last year.
Well, be it as you may,
I don't even think Rice has the tailor. I don't even think Rice has the tailor to make a
they're not
suit
even talking about
for the Ballon
PFA. They're
d'Or.
talking about Ballon d'Or.
Nah, no, no, no,
well,
no.
but I'm sure that statement was accompanied with a lot of buts and ifs, like most Arsenal statement starts with, right? But you hear stuff like, "Oh, if we win the
If we win
Champions
the
League, if we
Champions
do
League,
this,
And
if we do that," then
there
I'm
were a lot of
sure. And
ifs. If we win the Premier League, no, I think the guy said if we win the Premier, when we win the Premier, we
and,
win the Premier League,
and the
and Rice wins
Champions
the
League.
World Cup, then he's probably in the chance for a Ballon d'Or.
yeah,
But
so it's a lot of buts and ifs. I wouldn't pay too much attention to that, but But if you look at it carefully, he's one of their best players this season,
yeah, he
and
has
that is
been.
why they could be
Definitely.
making
He
that
has been.
statement.
He has been. He has been.
But yes, so
But
but
that's
the
telling on the
game,
attackers, though.
Yes, again.
because I know let's talk about them. I love Saka, but Saka hasn't been at it for a long time, and that I think a lot of Arsenal fans need to accept that and ask for more. If you are really in this title race, you need these guys to come up and start pushing. You can't be relying on Moreno, Trossard's, Timber for the goals. I need more from Saka. Martinelli is Martinelli, but from again the big players. I know none is none, but Eze and Saka need to come. They need to come to that one this next month. Goicores, I'm not a big fan. I don't think it's of the level. Unfortunately for them, or fortunately for them, Kai Havertz has been missing. I think they miss Kai Havertz. So I believe if
Yes.
Havertz is fit, he starts ahead of Goicores.
Definitely,
But,
definitely.
And they have a certain Gabriel Jesus. Is the guy ever still on the roster to play football?
not applicable.
Na.
Not applicable in
Okay.
this conversation. But also I feel with them like I think let's if we put it in a bit of context, Arsenal always, particularly against Unai's Aston Villa, Arsenal always tend to come. They always tend to struggle. They take more joy in getting or just throwing a spotlight to Arsenal's title ambition. They love to do it every season. And again, a game against Villa away from home, a draw against Chelsea. I know, albeit against 10 men, but those two away games are not that tough games for Arsenal. I think it's as much as I don't want them to win the Premier League, I still feel they win the Premier League because I don't quite trust City. I've watched a lot of City recently, and I still
No way, no
the
chance.
the last the midweek game against Fulham, like they were this close to tie that game 5-5. They were this close.
They will be this
See,
close to winning. They will still win.
see, and that's the interesting thing, right? That's the interesting thing. There's what they call champions lock or champions charm. People say it like
Yeah,
champions charm stays with Arsenal against Aston Villa. They get away with a 1-1 draw,
yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And it propels you. Champions charm goes against Man City. They walk away with at cottage with a 1 point instead
yeah,
of three
yeah,
points. And for me, if you go and check most of City's title challenges, there's always that nudge that comes around December.
Yeah,
Go and
yeah.
look
yeah.
at it. There's always
Pep
that
said
nudge.
it
There's always
himself in
that
his press
kick
conference. It was
that
like
comes
the league is
against.
long.
No, he knows.
Yeah,
He knows that. Like I
he
think if you
knows.
listen to Pep
He's an experienced manager.
the last few weeks, like he talks like a guy that knows something we don't know. Like he knows what's up. But also think for
Yeah,
City, like you talk about champions, Chaba. I think the game against Sunderland. I think what Pep would appreciate in that game particularly was the fact that when it was, I think the first few minutes was a bit tough for them, but when they needed a goal, it was they didn't rely on El Haaland on this weekend.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
Yes,
Diaz, Guardiola, and Foden. I think Foden stepping up has been massive for them, and will be massive for them to start to race again. Eze, we need to wake up. Shaky's already doing he's doing his thing. It's like clicking already. That'll be
Brilliant.
good for them as well. Heading towards Christmas, I think City have a lot of tough games, but it's like starting off this
really
week.
tough ones.
No, like this week,
Crystal
they are
Palace.
Crystal Palace and Madrid.
Yeah,
Going
So
away to Crystal Palace is
it's and
it's
I think
not the recipe for the position where City is right now.
yeah. So
yeah.
They'll rather
it's
want to have that game 4 weeks after or even a couple of
no,
weeks before. But Crystal Palace is on the high. Crystal Palace is always going to be an Achilles heel for City.
no.
But it would make a huge title statement if they walk out of Palace this weekend with
Three
all three
points.
points.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think they
And
win.
and that is the statement, and that's the statement that Arsenal has not been able to convince me with so far. Like, look at it. The ever struggling Liverpool got 3 points against Arsenal.
yeah,
For
yeah,
context, in a
Yeah,
season where
yeah,
you want to win the league.
yeah.
yeah.
That's true.
They've,
That's true.
they've had these moments time and time again. An Arsenal who wants to win the league would win at Sunderland. An Arsenal who wants to win the league would win
At Chelsea.
Chelsea
Yeah,
against 10. You understand? And Arsenal who wants to win the league will at least get a point
at
at
Villa.
Villa.
That's true.
So it's that's why I
Yeah.
just think they can't. So I think we spent enough time on those losers. Let's talk about
Oh wow.
Chelsea.
About
Chelsea,
And that set of losers, let's go.
Chelsea,
what
Chelsea.
champions? What champions for you?
The current world
What champions
champions.
for you? So,
The December curse strikes again.
uh,
December again.
no.
December again.
December
What
to
is
remember.
what is happening to Chelsea? Like I can't even recognize the team.
First and foremost, no Caicedo, and I think we've missed Caicedo these last two games.
Just imagine the hype of that Chelsea Arsenal game.
No, last
It
week. No,
was
last week, even like the Barcelona, the Arsenal
yeah,
game,
yeah.
like
Just imagine, and
so
then from there to losing at Leeds, and then drawing at Bournemouth, who's been on a losing
Losing
streak.
streak. Like again, and I think
I think 5 games.
yeah, and I think
Like for me, it's like thinking you're driving a Ferrari because you're in a Ford Mustang. Because the both of them seem to,
what
and you imagine that you're driving a Ferrari.
what
It
does
can
that
only
mean?
give you a shot. It can only give you a shot pump. This squad is not good enough. Simple. It's giving you a short pump because you feel like, oh, it looks like a fast car, then it must be a fast car. You cannot tell me you want to win something with Joao Pedro, with Dilam. Like
Nah,
you have too many buts and ifs in your lineup.
you said
You
boss
don't
and
even
ifs.
know.
No,
Yes,
no,
you have
no.
many buts and
It's
ifs. Yeah, oh,
it's it's worse than that.
links
It's worse
up,
than that.
if Joao Pedro links, oh, if Dilam finally comes, if what's going on? You are in a title challenge, and
Well,
look, literally,
Not
literally,
not anymore.
literally,
we're not in
literally,
the title race.
literally,
That's small horse.
Chelsea played the Barcelona game like gladiators. We die on the pitch today, and literally died after that because you've given it all. You don't have the next thing to go out there, and
Okay,
it's a
well, okay,
long
okay,
season.
okay, stop. Okay, stop. Okay,
It's
okay,
a
wait.
long season. See,
You're doing too much now.
I appreciate when you play with your heart, right? I appreciate when crop of players go in there and play with their heart. But then over time, you need to back that heart up with some quality.
Okay, fair enough.
And it is not enough to go into a title challenger. You're not certain about who your number nine is. I mean, we had a good time
No,
putting
no,
Arsenal
no,
on the
no,
road.
no, well, no, no. We're certain. It's just they're not good enough. We know who our number
That's
nines
what
are.
I'm saying.
They're,
Yeah. Because
they're just not good enough.
it's a, oh, is it gonna rain today? We play Joao Pedro. Oh, if it's gonna sun today, it's gonna be sunny today. We play Lab. The both of them shouldn't be right now at this point. You're better off with the Jackson over those two. Like it or not,
I,
it's as direct
I
as I will
didn't
be.
want I didn't want Jackson to go. I said that several
You're
times.
better off having Jackson
I
than those
wouldn't
two
If I
I
s-
combined.
wouldn't go as far as to say
if I
we are
speak,
missing.
no, 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 no,
I
no,
wouldn't
no, 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 no,
I
no,
wouldn't say we are
no,
missing
no, no,
Jackson because
no. We are no, no, no. I see.
no.
We
I
are.
don't think so because I don't think so. But I think Jackson would have been
He will
a
contribute. He will
useful.
contribute.
Yeah.
He'll contribute.
He would have been useful to this team. I think the problem of Chelsea is the fringe players are not pulling their weight. If you look at the team, the first team, that team is all right.
Yeah,
All
Fofanas,
right.
the
Yeah,
James,
yeah,
like
yeah.
those guys.
Caicedo.
And that's where the problem is. For
But
example,
when we
A
go
club as
when we
big
go
as
a
Chelsea
level
should not have
lower,
Fofana as the starting centre back. It should be a proper conversation of a fringe player until he can prove otherwise.
why can't he be a starting centre back at Chelsea? For me, he's good enough. Like he's the top centre back,
of
but
course
he's
it's
injured a
good.
lot. He's good
Of
No,
course
enough,
it's good.
but he's injured a
no,
lot.
but it's not good enough, and I'll tell you why. Right? If you check the people you're contesting this same title with,
He's
and
as
check
good.
their centre back pairing,
He's as good as
their
Saliba.
first. Oh, okay. I think this is the problem right here.
Bro,
No,
Fofana is as good as Saliba. What are you
he's as good as Saliba. He just no,
I think I think that's the problem right here.
no. It's not the.
If you look me in the face and tell me that Fofana is as good as Saliba, that is the problem right here.
Yes,
he's
no. It's
You've
every he's
accepted.
every bit as good as Saliba. What are you
it's
saying?
like see Liverpool.
I
Both
don't.
of them were both of
Liverpool
them
is
were at Saint Etienne and Fofana was rated highly than Saliba. What are you saying?
Was is the key word. Was
It's just injuries.
present tense. He's not. We shouldn't be having this conversation. He's not anywhere
you're
as
not
good
exactly.
as Saliba on qualities. No,
No.
and I'm not
No,
having a laugh.
no, on quality is as good as in terms of the reality with him because of his injuries. I get that Saliba is not durable. Saliba can play the whole season. Fofana cannot. But when it comes to that individual quality, that I'm saying
Saliba
level for
has
me.
had at the barest minimum. Saliba has had continuity for the last 2 years.
Yeah,
Fofana
Yeah,
hasn't,
he's
no,
been
and
see,
and
he's been
and
look,
and and
no, we're
and
talking
you
about
need that continuity to go for challenges. Like for example, to challenge for titles. For example, right? You can you can say whatever you want to say about you can say whatever it is you want to say right now about Rhys James. Right, you can say Trent as an individual player had a great year, but when you look at Rhys James, I say it on record, he's as good, if not the absolute best right back, maybe in the world in terms of quality. And the reasons why people have looked past him was that for the last couple of years, he has lacked continuity. right? So
Yeah, you're
now
not wrong.
he's coming back. He's been much more consistent, and people are bringing the conversation back up again. Now, if you went into the season without any serious competition for Reece James' position, you can't tell me you prepared to do much.
Yeah,
So that is
again,
my conversation. That's my conversation with the Chelsea centre back pairing.
I,
You
again,
need to have at least one guy that you know that come rain, come sun can
Go
challenge.
punish Chelsea. How Chelsea make us no fit talk. Yeah?
no, no,
You
no,
can't do
no,
that.
no,
You
no, no,
can't
no.
do that.
See,
The other day we were
I'm not allowed to talk. No, I'm allowed to
no,
talk because
no, speak freely. I'm not an oppressor. I am having a conversation with you. Tell me your mind and let's talk about it. Last 3 weeks, 2 weeks ago,
Ah,
you had the whole mic. You had your, where is your banner? Where is it? Bring it out. Put it behind you. You had it.
I
Let's
see.
talk. Let's
Oh,
talk
see.
football.
Okay, well, no. See what? See, what talk again? If you're talking
I
about
said
football,
something. I said something. Part of the momentum of the high that Chelsea has had this season, right, is of the fact that very important games have happened in the Stamford Bridge. And
ah,
If I was a Chelsea fan, I would hold on to that because it's a good heritage, right? The stadium might be a tiny little bit of stadium in comparison of the
okay,
size of the
oh,
club.
okay, 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 okay. Enough,
It
enough,
depend
enough, enough,
depending
enough, enough,
depending
enough.
depending depending
Mm,
like if you
enough.
look at it from the size of the club, that stadium might be a little bit like you're swimming in a pool and you're a
Okay,
big
okay,
whale,
okay.
right? But yeah, you have 40 something seat capacity. It's small, but guess what? You go in there, it's a fortress this season. You don't
Okay.
no big club go into Stamford Bridge expecting to really walk away feeling like they've had the better side of Chelsea. It's literally never happened.
Oh,
And in contrast, do you know that Chelsea still has the best away record in the Premier League this season?
but that just contradicts your point just that you made
That
just
is what
about
I'm saying.
Stafford Bridge.
That
About
is what
Stafford
that
Bridge.
is that's what I'm saying to you because in the big games so far this season, it's happened in Stamford Bridge. And then
No,
when you've gone, yeah, check your big games where you've done really good things as Chelsea. It's happened in Stamford
yeah.
Bridge. The Arsenal game, the Barca game. See,
No, okay,
don't
no, okay, okay, no,
don't.
okay,
that's just two games
I'm
we can
giving
okay.
you
talk
your
about.
flowers.
We beat Tottenham away.
It's really Tottenham.
European champions, guy.
Really.
They are European
Wait,
champions.
what are you saying? We beat Tottenham away.
Really?
Clean.
So we're gonna have a conversation here about you trying to contend for a trophy and
No,
your landmark is
no,
beating
but you have
Tottenham.
to, but you have to like again. Arsenal
In
anytime
the
to
last how many tell
Arsenal
me
need
how
to win
many
at
seasons
Tottenham.
tell me how many seasons Chelsea has gone without winning against Tottenham. It's a roster. You see you collect your 3 points and you move on. What are we talking about?
Yeah, but we've made it so. It's not. It's
It's
like
routine.
we don't turn
It's
up there and give it to
routine.
us. We've made it so. Okay,
It's routine. You
but
should go in there. See, it
let's
seems like I
focus.
have more respect for Chelsea than the both of you right now.
Let's not lose focus.
We've lost focus. No, no. See, we've lost focus because
It
no,
seems
no,
like I
no,
have more respect for your club than the both of you right now.
Let's
no.
Because
not.
If you,
Let's.
if you're telling me that your high this season, you're telling me your high
it's
this season is
it's not
that you won
no,
No,
against Tottenham instead
nobody
of you're
says
having a
no,
nobody
laugh.
no,
says the high. It's
no.
still a top. It's
No, we
still
are just saying.
it's still a big
We're
game.
just saying we're still winning big away games. Tottenham away is a big game, no matter how you see it. It's a big game.
Okay, but back to the main issue. Like I don't think home away that I don't think that doesn't really matter.
It does.
For me with Chelsea, it's a quality team.
It does.
Wait, wait.
I tell you the game you drew against Bournemouth last weekend, right? You have that game. You have that game in Stamford Bridge. You collect 3 points.
I
However you do it, I don't know,
I
but you get your 3 points.
I don't know.
Possible. It's
Yeah,
possible,
but
but
I don't think so. I don't think so too.
You
But
get your three
we lost.
points.
We
but yeah,
lost to Brighton at home as well.
yeah. We tell,
So
but see, but again, I'm talking about quality. Like, okay, you're talking about okay. You need to be Brighton. You need to be Brentford. But who's putting the ball in the net? Like, I know Kopama made his first start in almost 3 months, and of course he looked rusty. Like, he didn't look sharp. But
As
still,
expected.
at this level we're in right now, take Joao Pedro for example. If you look at Joao Pedro's stats, statistically speaking, in the Premier League this season. 18 other strikers that start for 18 other teams have taken more shots per 90 than he has.
I told
Uh,
you this last week. I
no,
told you this last week that Pedro doesn't have a striker
you're not telling
instinct.
me you're not telling me
He
anything,
he
you're not telling me anything new. There's a reason why Pedro did
yeah,
no.
but you knew this and you went for him in the summer.
Am I
So what are we talking about? I'm
what
talking
do you
about
mean?
your club. You knew this. This has been Pedro.
but
What?
but we didn't go for Pedro as our main striker. I don't think
So
that's
who
what
was your main striker? Tell me, Dilam.
If
it
you
was
look
the lap.
if
It
you
was the
if
lap.
you allow
Oh my
if you
And
allow
it's
God.
an error. And it's an error. I agree.
no,
It's an
it's
error.
not
But that was what we did. That was what we did.
no
Really?
No, see, boys, it's never just Delap. Like if you get in, if you have other useful attackers like Pedro Neto, you have another good player. But it's the combination of all of it. You can't have a Delap, you can't have Garnacho. I'm sorry, Garnacho will never fool me. I'm sorry, he's not good enough. Like, see, I don't care. Like, see,
The Argentine Cristiano, really?
like,
Oh god.
after the point of injury, that lineup, that attack of Garnacho, Magui, who hasn't scored a Premier League goal for Chelsea in 2 years now, and Neto. That's not
Thanks for
like,
thanks for the 6 million. It came in very handy at the
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah,
5 million.
yeah. I knew you needed that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. We do.
You
Yeah,
know
we
that.
do.
You know that situation where you're strapped for cash and you just put on a pair of jeans and you find 10 pounds
Yes,
in it that can save you
yeah,
for the day.
exactly. And
You're welcome. You're welcome.
especially when you find a new kid in the block that was giving you their lunch money, you take it every time.
Oh, well, this new kid on blocks smacked you on
Frank,
the
Frank,
pitch the other day. But let's not distract. For me, Chelsea are not in any title race until they address the holes in that team. It's as simple as that.
yeah,
Simple.
yeah.
There's
Are,
no
are there are there
It's
any
a
new
it's a
holes?
quality
no.
issue.
They're holes. With see,
Are there new holes? Those holes have been there. They were there at
but
the
you
time
still.
when you guys
Let's move on.
splashed
Let's
over a
move on.
billion.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's
Yeah,
let's move on.
we,
Let's move
we
on.
we really have to move on.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on.
We have to move on. We
Okay.
have to go because we've been here now for an
Over an hour.
hour and
Sadly,
yeah, on our
Okay.
feet.
I
sadly,
appreciate the
So
time check.
we
sadly, we
need
I
to
can't talk
appreciate the
round.
about.
time check.
Sadly, we can't talk
We
about
need to
Spanish football
round up.
this week. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We
thanks for
need to
that.
round up, and I think we need to end with the tussle at the top of La Liga right now.
Oh, okay.
So Barca is 4 points ahead. If I'm correct, 4 points ahead now. After that calamity, let's talk about that game.
But hold on,
Madrid.
before I speak anything
Oh,
about this,
oh
before I
my!
say
Oh my
anything,
God!
before I say anything about this new topic, I deserve a round of applause from Frank before
For
I can
what?
even go ahead. You
For
need
what?
For
to,
what?
you need, you
For
need to
what?
give me a round of applause
For what
because
exactly?
I had a chat with Frank, right, pre El Clasico, pre the start of the season. My friend here looked at